Welcome back to ShePropTalk. I'm Beverly from Downen Creative Studios, and with me today I have the lovely Tina from Tina Rivets Cosplay.
Hello.
I'm sorry I said the cosplay part. It's just Tina Rivets.
That's okay.
You're just awesome as Tina Rivets. You don't need the cosplay part. It's fine.
Well,
It's fun.
started doing all kinds of other stuff, so I just figured it made sense to drop the cosplay piece.
You know what? You're an artist. You do you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I know you really wanted that piece of advice from me.
You know what? I will take any advice I can get from you. I really, really, truly will.
Whatever. Well, thank you very much for doing this very, very last minute podcast. I think I asked you just like maybe 3 hours ago or something like that. Be like, hey, Tina, do you want to be on this podcast with me? Because I haven't recorded anything this week, and I really just wanted to do another one. And I've been wanting to talk to you about your stuff. So thank you.
Yeah, no, of course, anytime. I adore you, and you know that, and I'm always happy to help. And didn't have anything going on tonight, and even if I did, I probably would have dropped it for you. So, and honestly, this week's been crazy. And so for me, it's really nice to be able to kind of get in touch with something that I love and something that relieves stress for me and that I'm passionate about. So it's good to get back in touch with it.
Good. Awesome. Well, I have a lot of things that I want to talk to you about because we've known each other for a while. You actually, Tina, you were the first, you were like the first cosplayer that Brett and I really interacted with at Emerald City. And that was back in 2014 or something crazy like that. I can't count that high. So, so I don't know. It was a while ago. It was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was something.
It's going to be our cos birthday pretty soon. Are you excited? I'm excited.
I am. We should definitely celebrate.
We should celebrate with beer. Although I don't drink beer. You can have a beer and I'll have a cocktail.
That sounds fine. I'll have a cocktail and
vodka.
Beer. I mean, it is celebrate.
At the same time.
Ugh. Yes.
Gross. No, that's gross. Okay. I'll have a cocktail. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about that first costume that you made because it was freaking adorable and I still love it so much.
The first one that I made? The first one that you met me in?
Well, you know what? Let's back up even more. I want to know, how did you, because you've been cosplaying for a while, but have we been doing this for about the same amount of time? I feel like you've been doing this for longer than I have.
Not much longer. I feel like we got serious around the same amount of time, but
we did get pretty serious around the same amount of time. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
But, and you got serious and progressed a lot faster, which has been amazing. Watching you grow has been like watching just blossom. I've been like so proud of you. But anyways, I digress. But I did closet cosplays. I kind of dipped my toes in a little bit. And then, but I feel like we got serious about the same time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
It's been fun. I feel like we've kind of grown up together in the cosplay world. So that's kind of nice. It's neat when you have those kinds of friends. Like I think you were one of, not necessarily my first like cosplay friend, but my first like really great friend that came out of the cosplay world. Yeah.
And what's been fun because I feel like there's quite a large group of us that have kind of grown together and evolved into our own styles. And that's been really, really, really great to see how we've all taken this hobby and ran with it. I mean, I'm kind of a jokester. I do a lot of gender bends and a lot of puns and
which I love.
And and that's just kind of my thing, and I always try to do other stuff. I mean, I lean towards, stuff that has makeup and those kind of things, just because I think if anything, if I have a natural affinity for anything, it's those things. As much as I want to get better at the other things, I'm also not the most patient person in terms of I'm not very kind to myself. And I feel like I should be better, faster at things. So I get really frustrated when I can't be as good as everyone else, even though I haven't been practicing or trying as long. So, I start to stick with the things that I'm good at. But yeah, so it's been really cool just to watch everybody else grow and evolve and just become amazing at what they're naturally good at, and then also kind of reach out and help each other.
Yeah. Well, I have always really admired your makeup work, and we're definitely going to talk about that for a sec, but I want to go back to that first costume that I saw you wearing, which was Bombshell Hot Girl, which is awesome. I mean, you made that entire costume. You made the helmet, which is awesome. You made the backpack. You were a perfect Bombshell Hot Girl. And I remember like kind of squeeing when I saw you, and I was with Brett, and I asked you very politely for a photo. And can we talk about that experience real quick?
Sure.
Is that okay? Okay.
Oh yeah, you know me. You know, I'll share. I'm kind of an open book. I'm very transparent. Yeah. I'm so pale. I'm transparent. Yeah. Let me back up to when I decided to make that costume because I saw the jetpack, and I was like, I want to build that jetpack. Yeah. And I wasn't paying attention to the costume itself. It was like, I want to build that helmet. I want to make that jetpack. Those are really, really, really cool. And I'll bet out of all of these bombshells, that one's not going to get made as much because I didn't want to do the thing that everybody else was doing. And I wasn't paying attention to certain assets that would be on display. And
you mean the front and center assets?
That's right. And so that did occur to me. And even still, it's really even still, it's one of the more modest of the bombshells. And so built it, and I think that my jetpack was probably the third version. I learned a lot. It ended up being made out of pink housing insulation foam, PVC piping, EVA foam, and Bondo. Wow. And I bondoed over pink housing insulation foam, which eats it. I still did it. So there was a filling in the places that it ate over and over and over again. So
you learned a lot from that. Yes, I think we've all hit the foam with things that we probably shouldn't, like spray paint, and you very quickly learn that you should probably test those samples first. And I also painted and then let it dry in the sun, which bubbled it. Oh my god!
I learned a lot with that piece.
But it looks great. I loved it so much.
I've also re-weathered it several times after wearing it at cons and bashing those wings into things so they get dinged up. So I just go, well, it needs more weathering now. Yeah. So it just gets dirtier every time. But and then the helmet, it only took 2 tries to make that, and that was actually how I was introduced to Evil Ted.
Oh, we love you, Ted. Uncle Ted.
And that's how I learned about Evil Ted was learning how to make that helmet. And now, of course, he's a friend of ours, which is always so crazy. Awesome.
Yeah, love him.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's definitely one of the best. But yeah, and then with the costume itself, I ended up buying a jumpsuit thinking it would be easier just to alter a pre-made jumpsuit. It was not. I really should have just made it from scratch because I just tucked and sewed and it's one of those things they always say, don't look at never look at the underside, don't look at the seams. That thing is hilarious. I really should bring it over sometime or just take pictures and post them because people would laugh if they saw what I did to the thing. It's just hilarious.
Well, listen, I'm going to stop you right there because we are our own worst critic, and I hear what you're saying, and I hear you, but I am telling you, I didn't see any of that when I saw you that first time. I lost my mind, and you know what? I didn't even know who Hot Girl, like Bombshell Hot Girl was. I had no idea about the fandom. I was very, very new in the cosplay world, and I just loved your build. I recognized immediately that you like made everything. You were this like badass, you have this badass look on your face, and I just wanted to know you. So I asked you for your picture.
Yeah, I'll finish the story. I'll tell the story.
Okay.
So the story is, so the DC bombshells, I mean, they're definitely a certain type of character. They're pinups, and I love the pinup style. But I'm not necessarily the type of, girl that's like, I love that style. But I'm also very much, I'm quirky, I'm funny, I'm weird. I just, that kind of attention often makes me very uncomfortable, and I blurt out things and I make jokes and those kind of things.
You're wonderfully inappropriate sometimes.
I am. I thank you.
That's why I love you.
So I go to the meetup, and there were a couple of other bombshell hot girls, and they were fantastic. I mean, every bombshell there was amazing, and I was I felt very out of place. It felt just very competitive, very wrong, very, look at me, I'm going to stick my assets out farther than yours. I'm going to get more photographers taking pictures. And I just felt wrong. I didn't feel good. It felt very high school catty, and I didn't like it at all. And so I walked away. And when I walked away, I was in a crabby mood. I was upset. And so when I walked away, that was when you guys stopped me, and I felt like I was not hiding my disdain for what had just happened very well. I was trying to hide it, and if you know me, you know I wasn't doing a very good job of hiding it. But at the time, you said you had no idea.
No.
But now looking back, and you look at the pictures, now you know I wasn't hiding.
I know. You were like, I hate this.
But I would never be rude. I would never say, no, I don't want to take a picture, anything like that. I was just in the process of trying to shake it off.
Yeah. Well, I think about that experience, like knowing that experience, what happened after the fact. And I wish I could go back in time and, I don't know, just to help make that not happen. Because that is too bad that does happen sometimes in this community that we normally think is a super welcoming, inclusive, and not a catty kind of a place. And sometimes you do run into that. And when you walk into it, like you did, like walking up to that group and then experiencing that was, I'm sorry. But you have since.
However, I will say, if that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't have walked away in the moment that I did.
That's true.
And I wouldn't have met you guys. And so I'm fine with it.
Me too. I'm glad that happened. Ha! For selfish reasons. Well, before we started talking about Hot Girl, you were talking about how you choose some quirky costumes that you always seem to have so much fun with your costumes. Like you seem to look at them like an opportunity to really put a twist on something, or really have a fun time, or really shock somebody, or like mash two things up that are crazy to go together. So when you're thinking about doing a new build, like what inspires you? What do you look for? What have you seen in the past when you've been like, I have to make this? And I have a great idea for it, how I'm going to do it.
I wish I had a really great, profound answer. I really, really, really do. Sometimes it just pops in my head. There have been times when it's been suggested. I can't always take credit. Ash Wednesday was a suggestion. And that when it takes off, out of the blue, people start sharing it.
So for listeners out there, every single year, Tina's Ash Wednesday gets shared and it goes viral every single week, every single year. So we're talking about Wednesday from the Addams Family and Ash from Evil Dead, which she does both of those costumes independently, and then she does this mashup, and it is magical. It is perfect, and I love seeing it every single year. It's like it's
and it's actually happened a couple times this last year, and it happened just less than a month ago. And the guy who played Jake from Evil Dead 2 even shared it.
Really?
And so, yeah.
That's so awesome.
So, yeah, I don't know. It suddenly somebody shares it and then it just takes off. And, and then I have wonderful friends and followers that will tag me in it. And then I'm like, I don't know. And I love it. But that was my artist friend, Eric Wilson. That was actually his idea. And I am forever grateful because I think it's brilliant. I love it. And I think it's hilarious. So that I can't take credit for that idea. But yeah, some of the other funny, weird, quirky things that I've done, and I have tons of other ideas, just creating them, still is the case. But I love doing, gender bends. I have other ideas of things coming down the pipe. I want to do Mad Eye Moody as a gender bend. I want to do Snape and Neville's grandma's clothes is one that I really want to do.
Awesome.
Yeah, and actually, I'm hoping I've got the wig, and I'm hoping to get it done for Emerald City here, in a month.
Oh
There's another one that wasn't my idea, so I'm like, oh well, But my friend from work, Shelly, she has been asking me for years to do a female Lucius Malfoy called Luscious Malfoy. So, perfect. Yep. And with Jason Isaacs, who plays Lucius Malfoy, coming to the con, I have found a great lace front, white blonde wig.
Oh my gosh.
And I am working on becoming Luscious Malfoy because that's hilarious. And so
okay.
Yeah, so
I can't wait to see that. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's so funny because I can't even, I'm like, what other mashups do I do? I don't know. Well, I mean, there's my Ash beats Rosie the Riveter.
Yes.
And that one started as just me wanting to do female Ash because I love Ash. I mean, obviously that I've now done how many versions of Ash. That's kind of become my thing. But then obviously, Rosie the Riveter is a just such an icon to depict strong women. Yeah. So, and Ash is so schmoozy and just, he's Ash. He's like, give me some sugar, baby, which is...
it's like two complete opposites melding together, but somehow it works really, really well. I had a lot of fun doing Furiosa the Riveter with you at, what was it? Was it World of Rose City? That one time we should do that again. That was a lot of fun. Although a lot of people didn't know, like, what was up with my arm. Like, what is that? Like, you have to be a fan of the movies. And probably for you, too. Like, a lot of people probably were. Were they confused when they saw your chainsaw? Or do most people get it?
Most people get that one. That was actually the con that I wore Ash Wednesday to, and nobody understood what that was. Crypticon, they get Ash Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Wizard World, sure. They did. Nobody understood at all what it was. Nobody.
Oh, that's so great. So you love doing horror things as well. So you work a lot with you've done Two-Face, which I love because a lot of that facial makeup is just intense. It's just awesome. So I was hoping you could tell me how you do that. How do you put all of that on? Like, what is it made of? Tell me everything.
Well, I just use liquid latex.
Okay.
When I first started doing it, that's what I learned to use. I went with my sister to SpoCon, which at the time was split that particular year with WorldCon. And she insisted that I went actually working as her nanny for her daughter. So she insisted that I take that I sign up for some workshops with Racebird, who won, I believe it was season 2 of Face Off that was on Sci-Fi Channel. And he taught how to work with liquid latex. And he had alcohol activated paints, which was the first introduction I really had to either one. Now, I suppose I should go way back for just 2 seconds. I know I'm quite wordy. I always say I could talk to a shoe.
I could get a shoe if that'll help.
You really could. So when I think I was like 12, and I had already been taking like Halloween makeup and stuff and doing all kinds of stuff with it. And like my sister bought me Ben Nye nose and scar wax, which cool. I still have. It's very sticky. I only keep it for sentimental value. But she bought me my first special effects makeup clear back when I was 12. So she's always been one.
Throw that stuff away after a while, or you will get like some weird kind of like skin infection.
Well, again, sentimental value. I didn't say I use it.
Ew, gross. Okay.
Hoarder. I know, I'm a hoarder.
Okay. You're a weirdo. That's fine.
So,
we all know this.
So my sister's always been one of my biggest supporters in this kind of thing. So, yeah. So she insists I take this class, and so I do. And I also have to add this story because I constantly have the problem of not realizing what I'm saying and needing to put my foot in my mouth. So he taught everybody how to do zombie makeup, and I was wearing my Ash the Riveter costume. So I didn't really want to put zombie makeup on my face. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, okay, well, I will just put makeup on the opposite arm that doesn't hold my chainsaw. So I put makeup on, and I was like, well, I'll just do, I don't know, burn makeup instead. Mm-hmm. Now, this was during one of the years in Eastern Washington that we had horrific wildfires. I am not intentionally insensitive sometimes. I really am not. So this was the last day of the con, and I obviously didn't take it off because we were just leaving straight from the con. We stop at a fruit stand, and I had, again, Ash the Riveter. So my costume is ripped. It's dirty. It's bloody. I removed the harness, holster, chainsaw, shotgun. So I am just dirty, bloody, and ripped. And now I have a horrific burn across my arm. And I'm traveling across Eastern Washington where there have been horrible wildfires.
Oh, no, Tina.
We stop at a fruit stand. We get out, and people are like, oh, my goodness, what happened to your arm? Are you okay? That must really hurt. And I am like, oh, no, it's fine. It's just makeup. And they're all, oh. And it doesn't occur to me until I get back in the car how awful that was of me. I should have covered it up, and I felt so bad. I felt really bad because we were also far enough away from the con that they would not have had any clue probably that there was a convention going on. I just looked like a jerk. So, story of my life, foot in my mouth. Anyways, so that's how I learned originally about liquid latex and what you can do with it. So it's really easy to work with. A lot of people are allergic, though, so that's something that you really need to learn before you work with it, is if you have any sort of allergy to it. Mm-hmm. And I like doing burns because they're very, very, very forgiving. You can
make a very gory mess. Yes.
Yep. Just pull your tissue apart, kind of rip it up because you don't want any straight edges. Dip it in some latex and just kind of put it on your arm and mash it around, or wherever you want your burn, and then just play around with colors and paints. I mean,
what kind of paints do you use? Alcohol-based, alcohol-activated paints? I
have started using those because they are like waterproof, sweat-proof. They're they're expensive, but they go a very, very long way. You can have those palettes for a long time. And in order to get them off, you have to have the makeup remover.
Okay.
So they're amazing. So for cons, photo shoots, just anything, that's not coming off.
What
And I
brand
love
do you like to use? What's your favorite?
Skin Illustrators.
Skin Illustrator?
Because, and they
Okay.
have a palette that has like aged blood is my favorite blood to use, the color. And then
Ah,
I like to dab if I'm trying to have something look a little like maybe it's got like open kind of oozy pieces or parts. I like to use the Ben Nye Stage Blood over the top just to
okay.
dab it a little bit.
To make
Which
it
is
look
also,
like it's oozing blood.
yeah. If you've seen any of like my Ash stuff, it's the same blood that I use across my forehead, which I will
Okay.
just blob and then I let it run until it coagulates naturally. It gives it that natural blood's running down my face. Oh, it
Uh,
stopped right before it got to my eyes. Look,
oh my gosh.
nobody likes clean Ash.
No. Yes. That is awesome. I've always been in awe of your gory makeup. It's always been so impressive and so like your Two Face is just amazing. And your Ash, I feel like you're just such an expert at the getting all of the dirty, like he's like you just walked off the screen. You're just, fighting off the dead. It's awesome.
Fun. It's fun. It's fun. Well, and one of the last times I saw you, your stepson Zach got to help me get bloody with my lady killer costume.
Oh God, that was just so cool. That I just love that. And to watch you get blood all over that cute vintage style dress was like, it was painful, but it was also awesome. Yeah.
That was
It was
fun.
like watching performance art happen. It was very cool.
Well, I love coming over and letting, your guys' kids just go to just have fun with it, and I know they have fun and appreciate it too. So
Yeah, they really do. They love you very much. Me too. Um, well, so you've done Two Face, you've done Ash, you have also done Edward Scissorhands, which was one of my faves, and you did that with our friend Ryan
mhm.
Wells. Um, can you tell us about a little bit about that costume? Because it was one of my favorite. That picture that we took together where you're cutting my hair is one of my favorite pictures. One of my favorite con pictures of all time. I love that so much.
It's actually on my wall at work.
That's
It's
awesome.
on my wall at work. I love it so much. Um, so Ryan provided basically the cosplay. I provided the hair and makeup, which is funny because I did my own makeup. So the makeup on that also was liquid latex.
Okay.
I should also add that the last time I did burns, which was for Jet City Comic Show in Tacoma, I had left my liquid latex at work. I have an office job, but I wear costumes at work all the time.
Which is awesome. I
All the
love your
time.
job. I love your job.
In fact, I was going to say, as a matter of fact, I'm throwing together Captain Hook for an out of town work thing for this next week. But so thankfully, I had some silicone, some for skin that I hadn't got to play with that I was able to do. So I'm starting to transition into silicone for skin. But anyway, so the Edward Scissorhands was more latex. And really that was just, it was tissue kind of rolled up and then kind of ran through in latex and then just applied.
Okay.
And then, yeah, and then just kind of for the scarring. And I used rigid collodion for some scars across the lips. Eyebrows. Oh, it took me so long to finally get the knack down to block out eyebrows.
So
Uh,
tell me about that process because I've had to do that as well, and so I'm wondering if we use kind of the same process.
um, yeah, it finally took several drag queen tutorials to really learn how.
Okay, we probably have the same techniques because that's how I learned too.
Um, Yeah. It's just glue stick and powder over and over and over until you cannot fathom any more glue stick and powder. It was, yeah. I one day I'll have to count how many layers to fully get it, glue stick and powder, and then just, the foundation. But with Edward, he's so pale. That's what I think made it extra hard.
Yeah.
And then also
you really couldn't have that shadow, the eyeshadow, the eyebrow shadow.
No, and then the problem also, in addition with that, was because he has kind of like purpley like eyelids and that kind of go up onto his eyebrows
to make him look tragic.
Right. Yes. But then also because of the latex and then the glue stick, that has a different texture.
Oh.
So you have to make sure that the text that your whatever you're using to make that purple looks the same, because of the different textures. It doesn't look the same.
Oh, so what do you recommend?
I ended up using alcohol activated paints because originally when I was first doing it, I was using just like eyeshadows. I think I was just using like an Urban Decay, because a lot of the time, honestly, I will just use like beauty makeup for these things. Because it works.
Yeah.
But in that case, I had to use alcohol activated paints, which I didn't like as well because I didn't feel like it gave me that almost soft look that Edward has on his eyes. But I had no other choice. Nothing blended, nothing laid the same. It just didn't look right. But yeah, so for him it was latex, tissue paper, blocking those eyebrows out, and rigid collodion, and then he was cream paint. His pale was cream paint. Yeah. He was just dabbing. It was Hades that I first got into airbrushing.
Oh my God. I remember you were airbrushing forever in the hotel. How long did it take you to do that? It was gorgeous.
Because I brought the wrong mix. Because I brought the wrong mix and I forgot all of the right things. Yeah, that was that problem.
Yeah, talk about con nightmares. Oh. Yeah. Well, you looked amazing at that con.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Someday I'll get rid of, hopefully, this astigmatism, if they can ever do that, and I will be able to wear colored contacts so I don't have the one eye that goes, whoop. That would be the problem with Luscious Malfoy, is Luscious Malfoy is going to have hazel eyes, because I can't imagine Luscious Malfoy with one eye that just doesn't want to stay going forward.
It's fine. We don't have to match eye colors. I don't wear contacts, like colored contacts. I have regular contacts, and I've never worn colored contacts because I don't feel like that is, okay, this is just my opinion, but if I don't get a prescription from a doctor, I am not going to put it in my eye. That's what I think.
Well, that's the thing, is I had a prescription for my colored ones, but yeah, they weren't, because they didn't have the correction in them, I put them over the top of my correction ones, but because I was only doing it for a couple of hours. Yeah, but, I've stopped being such a perfectionist about certain things because I am too stressed out about other things. I don't have time to be stressed out about things that are supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, you work full time. You have 2 kids, you have 2 dogs, and you have a boyfriend, and you're busy. So finding time to fit in cosplay and test and building and, freaking out about details, we don't have time for that. So I've always been amazed at how much you're able to do with the amount of time that you have, because I know how hard you work at work and how much time you don't have. So kudos to you. You have some kind of magical power to put it all together. And Emerald City, I'm really excited about, because I haven't seen you in a while, and I can't wait to see what you are bringing. What are you bringing to Emerald City?
That's a good question. So, I'm in a Jetsons group, which I'm super excited about, and with Melanie, Dila Designs, who is going to need to come over, and I'm sure she'll watch this and help me make it because she's amazing. And
Is this a
so
plea for
you'll
help?
know,
Is this a call for help?
it's totally a call for help
You know,
because
that's what we do for each other.
yeah, she's such an amazing seamstress. She really is, and I love her. Anyways, in it as well as JJ, who's doing that amazing Astro, and yes, this is me plugging them because they're awesome. Cruiser Creations, Josh is our Rosie, and Brad, BH Creations, who oh my
god,
BH Cosplay.
Sorry, Brad. But yes, he's gonna be who?
He's George, and I'm the mom. Yeah, so I'm going to be yanking that wallet out of his hand as much as possible.
Oh my god, that's going to be so great.
Yeah, so we're doing a Jetsons group, and then I am going to bring Luscious Malfoy, hopefully.
Awesome. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, so those are my only two that I'm absolutely 100% hoping to bring for sure. You know, and the rest we'll see. I mean, I've got 2 other days. I might go as a muggle one day just for funsies. I'm planning to go all 4. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, I've got some other thoughts, but we'll see. I don't know if they'll get done in time. We're hoping for maybe a Tremors casual cosplay.
That's awesome.
A little Bert and Heather from Tremors. So Nick, my boyfriend, and I were talking about that. We've also talked about doing Bandit and Frog from Smokey and the Bandit as a little kind of closet cosplay. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You guys did an awesome Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that might come out too, just because that was fun.
Please. I loved that so much. It was so fun. It looked comfortable too.
Well, those shorts were a little tight for me, but and she's got that sour look on her face, you know, like she's smelling something that doesn't smell great, you know. But I mean, I suppose she have that whole scene with the Triceratops when she's checking for poison. So I don't know how much.
You should. Okay, here's an idea. You should make a big giant pile of like EVA foam poop and put your hand in it. And
I feel like that would be a job for Gary.
Hey Gary, can you just whip that up overnight for Tina?
He can whip that up in 5 minutes.
Beer many props.
As long as yeah, exactly. I'm excited too because we'll be getting the band back together. He's supposed to be there this week. Well, it's been too long.
It has been way too long since we've seen that face. Yeah, I'm so excited about Emerald City. It's like, I feel like cons are sort of our new family reunions where like our friends are our family. I mean, I have family, like actual family, and I'm not as close to them as I am to people like you and other friends that we're going to be seeing in Emerald City. So I'm so excited. Other friends. Brett is laughing at me right now. I don't know if you can hear him. He's like, other friends. Yes. I'll put a list of them at the end of this episode.
I've always said we need to get family reunion T-shirts made, and on our Muggle Day, we need to wear our family reunion T-shirts. You know?
Oh my gosh! You know what? Someone has to. We should totally do like a family reunion, like picnic style, and everyone can bring like a little picnic basket or like a casserole, but it could be made out of EVA foam. Just saying.
And I think after how inadequate I am at handling like working Skype at first, I definitely get grandmother.
Wait, you get who? Because you cut out just now.
I get to be the grandmother since I can't hit. I was like, how is this? Why don't I have a picture?
Oh my God, I love that. I love that. We have to do that. Well, you know what? There has to be at least one day where we wear like a maker shirt. Like I'm wearing Cosmic Ash Studios right now because he's awesome and I love this shirt. And it was also designed by an amazing artist, Lay. What is that? 137 cosplay.
Yes, he also has an artist page.
Cryomira?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. She's fantastic. I'll have to link to her at the end of this episode. Yeah, but that was really fun. We did that one year at Rose City Comic Con where it was like Sunday or something. It was sort of like a casual day. Nobody wore costumes, but we all wore maker shirts. And didn't we wear, or was it Core Geek shirts that we wore that year? Did we do that one time? Because he wasn't there. We wanted to rep.
Well, we all
wore couldn't make it. Ones. Yeah.
Except Gary, who wore his own or something like that, because he didn't know, because he lives in California, so he didn't know to pack somebody else's because it was a last minute thing.
Yeah, whatever. He could have made one overnight. Whatever, Gary.
He probably made out of EVA foam in 2 minutes. Been fine.
No. So we're talking about our good friend Gary, who we love. If you can't tell about all of our smack talk,
I love his mom too.
What's that?
I said I love his mom too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you and the mom jokes with Gary. Gary's page is Beer Money Props. He is amazing. He's like super fast. He's a really funny guy. We love him to death. He works for Thingergy down with Frank Ippolito down in California. He is working on some awesome projects that he can never tell us about. God damn it. God damn it, Gary. So hopefully we'll have some new awesome stories that he's allowed to tell us when we see him at Emerald City.
I thought this was family friendly. You just swore.
I know. Well, look at one. Who's going to tell on me? Nobody.
I'm not. I'm just saying, for once, I'm not the one swearing.
Yeah. So I did do an episode where it was like, you know what? I can't stand not swearing. I'm just gonna start swearing. I'm gonna let you swear. And it was Cowboy Crunchies. And then I had to go back in and like bleep all of the swears because I found out that on YouTube you can't drop the F-bomb as much as you want because you'll get flagged and they don't like that. So it's like, oh, okay, fine. I'll do that. I'll dial it back again. So I went in and I bleeped and one of the bleeps got away from me. And so there's like a nice long 6-second bleep right at the 14-minute mark. And that was really embarrassing. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a professional. I'm not trying to say that I am. I'm just human. Oh. But yeah, please, thank you for not swearing. Oh, hi, Zena.
I'm a good girl for once.
Yeah, you're doing really well. I'm surprised.
I am too. I swear way more than you work.
Well, where can we find you online if we wanted to go stalk your page and check out all of your awesome cosplays? Hi, Zena.
On Facebook, I'm Tina Rivets. On Instagram, I'm Tina Rivets. I do have a Twitter.
What?
Tina Rivets stalking. I know, but it's pretty much just linked to my Facebook. I don't.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't get individual treatment. Yeah, I'm old. I don't do the Twitters.
That's fine. Oh my God, it takes so much time of your life to keep up with all of that stuff. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, primarily it's just, Facebook and Instagram. I don't have time for anything else. And even that I neglect on occasion until I have something relatively exciting.
Yeah.
So
well, cool. Well, I'm so excited to see what you bring to Emerald City. And also just to hang out because it's been a while. It's been too long. It's been too long, sister.
I agree.
Brett in the background. That wasn't very subtle. All right. Well, thank you again so much for doing this last minute podcast with me. I miss you. I love talking to you. It's kind of weird and fun to do this in more of a formal setting because we've always been so cash and so. But I'm glad to have you on because I think you're.
And by casual, you mean come and paint these feathers.
I know.
Work fast.
Yeah, you're my minion. My willing minion.
And I just teach me your ways.
Oh, yes.
And wrap me in duct tape.
Oh my God. And you helped with that that head cast of Anastasia that we did. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Crazy times. Well, I'm Beverly from Downen Creative Studios. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. And again, please rate, review, and subscribe. And oh my God, I actually got a really cool review. So I'm going to read it. This is from euphoria.bg. BJC. SheProp is a fantastically fun and informative podcast that I highly recommend to any aspiring maker. As a primary seamstress, I love learning about how other people create gorgeous art out of foam, Worbla, and other mediums. Keep up the great work. You help me propel my cosplay game to greater heights. Thank you, Euphoria. That is really awesome. So you guys, please go be awesome and leave a little review. It really makes my day. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. So anyway, thank you again, Tina. I am so glad that we got to talk. And I'm going to torture you for one more second. And
of course.
I'm gonna make you think of a sign off for this podcast. Ready? Set, go.
Let's get ready to rumble.
I love it. All right. Very cool. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.